Hello? Hello? No? Nothing? Test, test, testing. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello fans of Defender Sports, hope you're enjoying the game whether you're a friend or family member of a player or coach, or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. But going into each and every game, there's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has, and that's a game plan. If these players and coaches are willing to put this much time into planning for a game, how much more important is putting together a game plan for your financial life? Now, the financial world continually becomes more complicated, but if you don't have either the time or the desire to spend hours upon hours learning and keeping up with the changing rules of the game in the financial world, and then figuring out how that applies specifically to your financial life, you don't have to do it alone. For over 40 years, we've been helping households to build their financial game plan upon all the things more important than finances, while being good stewards of the resources God has entrusted to their care. Because there's things in life more important than money, and none of them are things. I'm Tom DeYoung, financial planner and president of Money Concepts, the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media. Check out our podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or your favorite podcast app, or schedule a complimentary meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
Good afternoon and welcome to the ASB Sports Complex near the campus of Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa. The Dordt Defenders and Mount Marty Lancers getting set for a Great Plains Athletic Conference twin bill here this afternoon. The Dordt Defenders enter play with a 21-5 overall mark, 2-0 in the Great Plains Athletic Conference, while the Mount Marty Lancers 8-11 overall, 1-3 in Great Plains Athletic Conference play. I believe both of the Mount Marty doubleheaders so far this season have been played here inside the ASB Sports Complex. The Dordt Defenders, their lone conference doubleheader, which occurred about a week and a half or so ago. I believe it was Saturday, March 25. That was also played here in the ASB Sports Complex, and with a drizzly, cold, windy day happening outside, it is a pleasure to be inside under the Teflon roof here at the Dome. Abby Kramer on the mound for the Dordt Defenders as we start things off, and the first pitch is the ball, 1-0 the count. Abby Kramer, the ace for the Dordt Defenders. This one swung on and fouled off and out of play. Bailey Corton leading off the inning for the Lancers. The Dordt Defenders, Abby Kramer, 10-1 on the mound this season. Pitches up and away, ball 2-1 the count. And if you follow Dordt softball at all, you know that Abby, once she gets rolling, she's awfully tough to hit. Every once in a while struggles early on, though. Teams, if they get runs, it seems, against Kramer, it is in the first inning or so of work. And once she dials in, she's been very, very tough to hit. All that being said, 10-3 this season with a 1.18 earned run average. The Dordt Defenders, Abby Kramer, that one fouled off by Corton. Kramer, a strikeout pitcher. She's got 93 Ks so far this season. So she's within striking distance of the century mark here this afternoon. And Bailey Corton settles in. Here's the pitch. A dribbler in front of the plate. Corton legging it out over at first base, and she is retired on the strike from Toringa over to Steenstra for the out. So Bryn Toringa charges, makes the play, and Corton is retired. 5-3 for the first out of the inning. Corton retired. Corton, a .357 batting average, so nice to get her out of the way. That will bring Ella Ray to the plate. Ray, left-handed batter, settles in. She wears number 14. And Ray takes her spot. Here's the pitch from Kramer. Swung on and slapped foul over into the dugout area. Occupied by the Dordt Defenders on the third base side. And the count is 0-2 to Ella Ray. Ella Ray, the batter. And Ray settles in. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and she takes upstairs. Ball 1-2 the count. And Kramer possibly wasting one there, just seeing if Ray would swing under that rise ball. So Kramer, number 23 on the mound. In the pitcher's circle, Toringa stabs at it, throws over to first base in time, and Ray is retired, 5-3. For the second out of the inning, that'll bring Autumn Parker to the plate. Autumn Porter, that is, beg your pardon. Sometimes the lineup card, by the time it makes it to me, a little beat up, and the third of the carbon copies, not always clear, but that's Autumn Porter, number 8, a .284 batting average. And Porter, swing and miss, strike 2, 0-2 the count. Well, the Defenders, a little bit of a spotty schedule. They've been off since March 25th, as I noted. Here's the 0-2 pitch, just misses outside, ball 1-2 the count. Defenders are scheduled to go to Aberdeen, South Dakota on Thursday of this week. They'll be facing the Jamestown Jimmies. Swung on and fouled off, out of play, and the count remains 1-2. All that being said, we'll see if the defenders are able to make it there on Thursday, and we'll see if the defenders are able to play in Aberdeen. Strike three, and the batter is retired. Autumn Porter strikes out looking for strikeout of the day for Abby Kramer, out number 3 of the inning. And the Mount Marty Lancers are retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody
American
left on
State
base.
Bank
Back
is
with more after
celebrating our
this.
50th anniversary, and we couldn't have made it this far without your support. For us, banking just scratches the surface. We pride ourselves in our commitment to our communities, building meaningful relationships with our customers, and doing our best to have some fun along the way. We're proud to be a locally owned and operated bank, supporting the communities we serve. Thank you for choosing American State Bank. We can't wait to see what the next 50 years have in store.
Mackenzie Gray in the circle for the Lancers, decked out in their navy tops with the block lettering across the front of their jersey. That's in white, trimmed in gold. And here we go. Gray, the batter, or pardon me, the pitcher, facing Chandler Skemper. Skemper, senior from Sheldon, Iowa. And Skemper, a .297 batting average. Defenders as a team, .314. That's pretty gaudy at this time. And Skemper takes high and tight. Ball 1-1 the count. And they say that one grazed her helmet. She's hit by the pitch. So Skemper gets on. For Skemper, hit by the pitch, that is the 8th time Skemper has been hit by a pitch this season, and that brings Carly Olson to the plate. Olson settles in, and Skemper off with the pitch, and Skemper slides in safely, and that throw from the catcher, Castro, squarely knocks Skemper on the hip. So, a couple of plays, and Skemper's been hit by a couple of thrown balls. One by the pitcher. Now she's in scoring position for Olson. Dordt trying to strike quickly here. Olson takes low and away. And that's the ball. 2-0 the count. Olson, left-handed batter. Got a little bit of pop in her bat. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike one. 2-1 the count. Olson, a home run this season, 12 RBI, .277 batting average. And the catcher from Spirit Lake, Iowa. Here it is, swung on and missed. Strike three, and the first out of the inning. So Olson goes down swinging. Strikeout number one. Out number one of the inning brings Ella Coster to the plate. Now Coster swinging it as well as anybody in the league right now. 36 hits, 72 at bats. That comes out to 500. First pitch is outside, ball one, 1-0 the count. And sometimes you'll see just purely a contact hitter have those kind of numbers in softball. Coster, not that. 3 homers, 3 RBI, 7 doubles, 22 RBI. I said 3 RBI, 3 home runs. That's a swing and a miss. Strike one, 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count to Coster. Coster from Michigan takes a deep breath, settles back into the batter's box. And here's the pitch. Swung on and dribbled. Third base side. Corton, snap throw over to first base in time. And Coster is retired 5-3 for the second out of the inning. Skemper advances to third base. Brings Ivy Terpstra to the plate. Terpstra batting .346. Corton got rid of that one in a hurry. Didn't bother to set her feet, just simply got the ball and transferred it over to first base in as quick a fashion as possible. Now a bouncing ball left side. Corton over to first base in time, and Terpstra is retired 5-3 for the third out of the inning. So the defenders get a base runner, and that's it. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We've played one. We're scoreless. Back with more right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University and sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy. And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Abby Kramer facing Janaea Castro to start off the second inning. Here's the pitch to Castro. That's in for a called strike. 0-2 the count to Castro. Here's the pitch from Kramer, and that just misses outside and high. Ball one, 1-2 the count. 1-2 the count. Thank you again to our Dordt Media Network folks. All the students involved with that, along with Rich Lodewijk leading the charge. Lots of people make these broadcasts happen. We're grateful for their time on a Tuesday afternoon. Swung on, ground ball, right side. Skemper up with it off of the turf, picks it up, throws it over to first base to Steenstrup for the out. And Castro is retired 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Brings Nehe to the plate. Lilino Nehe, a 283 batting average. Mount Marty so far this year, 3 homers. A team 285 batting average. Mount Marty has owned this series as of late. Since the 2018 season, they lead the series 8-1. Last year, a couple of tight games, which Mount Marty prevailed in. One of them walk-off fashion, if I remember correctly. And the count is 3-0 to Nehe. Sammy Noble waiting in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch, and Kramer pipes that one straight down the chute. Strike one, 3-1 the count, top of the second inning. We're scoreless. Well, the outside temperature today, 36 degrees, and I would venture to guess we wouldn't be playing today if we didn't have the Sport ASB Dome to fall back on. Here's the full count pitch on the way. I love baseball and softball as much as the next person, but I don't necessarily like drizzle. Softball or baseball in the drizzle, so it's nice to be inside on a blustery April day. Here's the pitch, swung on, and a line drive to left field. That drops in for a base hit. First base hit of the game for either team. Nehe takes the turn at first, and she holds. It's her 14th base hit of the season. And that'll bring Sammy Noble to the plate with one out. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner as well. Sydney Kotz will be running. So Kotz for Nehe. My guess would be Nehe will re-enter, either when her turn in the order comes around again or when they get into the defensive set. Well, Marty, we're not wasting any time burning a pinch runner, though, for Nehe. Sammy Noble batting with a runner on first base. Good speed at first, I would guess, and faking the steal was Kotz. Kotz this season has played in 14 games now. Has one stolen base, if I'm reading my columns correctly. Kotz with a stolen base, beg your pardon, 3 stolen bases this season. Here's the pitch after it was fouled off. Strike 2, another foul ball up off of the Teflon. Well, when we finally do move outdoors, it's going to be a change. Hopefully that happens next week. Sounds like things are trending the right way weather-wise once we get through the next day or two. Here's the pitch, and an excuse-me swing by Noble. And actually, Noble, I thought she made contact with that one. She did not. Ball got away from Carly Olson, and advancing on the wild pitch is Kotz. So that one misses upstairs. Ball 1-1-2 the count with 1 down in the inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, and that one's going to contact a light fixture. And that is a dead ball. An immediate dead ball for those of you new to the ground rules here in the ASB Dome. How I understand it, a ball that contacts the ceiling in foul territory, an automatic dead ball, just like a foul ball. Any ball that contacts a light fixture is a dead ball. Any ball that contacts the roof in fair territory, here's the pitch, swung on and a soft line drive, fielded by Skemper. And back in is Kotz. So Noble, line drive out for the second out of the inning. Brings Olivia Valdez to the plate. As I was saying, any ball that contacts the bubble in fair territory, it's basically a free chance for the defense. If you can make the play off of the plastic, it's an out. If it drops, it is a dead ball, and it counts as a strike. Other than that, I don't think there are many ground rules. Now, the ceiling does come into play a little bit more than I thought it would. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. I didn't. Actually, I don't know why I should have thought it wouldn't come into play as much as it does. Those first few weekends now, the pitchers have gotten better as the season has gone along as well. Pitch misses outside, ball 3, 3-1. 3-1 the count with 2 down. Runner still on second base is Kotz. Valdez, a .283 batting average. Base hit likely scores the runner. And Carly Olson picks up the foul ball on the excuse-me swing. Strike 2, and the count goes full, 3-2. So Olivia Valdez batting with a runner in scoring position for the Lancers. And Valdez awaits the delivery. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Kramer has her second strikeout victim of the day. Out number 3 of the inning. And the Lancers are retired. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. To the bottom of the second we go. Dordt and Mount Marty scoreless. Back with more after this.
Family, farm, business, community. People's Bank, where values matter.
Leading off the inning for the Dordt defenders will be Emma Grun. Almost snuck in Dordt College defenders. Old habits die hard. been a few years. Dordt University, the defenders, Emma Gruen to the plate. And Gruen takes a ball. It's 2-0. 2-0 the count. And so Gruen awaiting the delivery from Gray. So both teams had a runner in scoring position already. Gruen swings and misses. Strike one. 2-1 the count. So 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on. That one's off of the hands. Scooped up by the shortstop Valdez. Throws over to first base in time. And Gruen is retired 6-3 for the first out of the inning. Brings up Lauren Steenstra. So Steenstra will settle in. Take her hacks at the plate. Steenstra, right-handed batter. And here's the pitch to Gruen, to Steenstra. Swings and misses. Strike one. 0-1 the count. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Steenstra. That's in for a called strike two. 0-2 the count to Steenstra. Aurora Tyson waits in the on-deck circle. If the defenders can get anyone on, it'll be Bryn Toringa coming to the plate. Pitches up high to Steenstra. Takes that for a ball. It's 1-2. Well, both pitchers getting ahead in the count, and then they'll waste one. See if they can get the batter to be a little antsy. Steenstra, 302 batting average. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. That is the second strikeout for Gray, out number 2 of the inning. And brings Aurora Tyson to the plate. Tyson, a 304 batting average. 4 RBI. And Tyson, left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Back to the netting. Strike one. 0-1 the count. So Bryn Toringa waiting in the on-deck circle if Dordt can extend the inning. And here's the pitch. So far, Gray has faced one over the minimum in recording 5 outs thus far. That one batter to reach, Chandler Scamper. She was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning back in the first. And here's the pitch. Strike two. 1-2 the count. Well, Gray has been on here early on. First time through the order. We're in the bottom of the second and scoreless. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit softly down the first base line, and that's going to drop foul. That flirted with the netting around the lights and then dropped without touching. So it was a chance for Nehe to make the play at first. She re-entered, by the way, after being run for in the second inning. See if Tyson can get something going with 2 down in the inning. Here's the wind and pitch. Up high. Ball 2. Ball scoots away from Castro. No harm, no foul. Nobody on base right now. Lancers in their white pants today. Dordt in their black and whites. Black pants. White tops, black lettering, little bit of gold. Swung on, sharply hit. Second baseman up with it. Harper over to Nehe for the out. Tyson is retired 4-3 for the third out of the inning. The defenders retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We head to the top of the third and scoreless. Paige, Harper, Corton due up for the Lancers when we resume play right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
And we pick up play here in the top of the third inning. Page, Harper, and Corton due up. And here's the pitch from Kramer. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Ellie Brower on stats today, making sure I keep everything straight. And strike 3, and the batter is retired. Abby Page caught looking. Strikeout number 3, out number 1 of the inning, and strikeout number 2 in a row. You laugh when I say the official statistician keeps me in order. I would be lost without them. Gotten very spoiled with the live stats that are provided. Far cry from the old days when I had to beg, borrow, and steal whatever stats I could find. Now they are at our fingertips. Pitch misses outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Ellie, one of, a dozen or so students who are employed in the athletic communications office. Pitch misses inside, ball 3, 3-0 the count. We run a few off before the year's over, but we hold on to most of them. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's in for a called strike. So the Dordt defenders and Lancers tied up 0-0. Here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. 3-2 the count. Now that is something that has always been a mystery to me. Why you have, it goes 3-0 and then you can come back with 2 strikes. I understand you're nibbling at the edges. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way. Foul ball. That one got the attention of the dugout. Fence goes about 6 feet tall. That ball hit about at the 5'10" mark, right about eye level. And they're going to say the batter is out. That's going to go as a strikeout. I'm guessing she was out of the box when she made contact with the ball. So that will go as a strikeout for Harper. Strikeout number 4, out number 2. And brings up Bailey Corton. So Corton, the batter. Corton in her first at-bat. A ground ball to left side. And she was eventually retired on the throw from Torringa to Steenstra. This one lifted in the air right side, a little bit of distance, but under it easily is Brooklyn Cox, and Corton is retired on the flyout to right field for out number 3 of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Mount Marty Lancers. We go to the bottom of the third, still scoreless. Back with more right after this.
We're in a town that's very progressive. We're grateful for that. We have a lot of entrepreneurial spirits in town here.
Well, the one thing you get from Sioux Center that you don't see in larger cities is that small town support. If you bring a business to Sioux Center, everyone wants to know your name. What's your background? Where are you from? What brought you here? Why are you coming to Sioux Center? And they want to support you for that. People spend locally. They want to be loyal and they want to help out other loyal customers. It's a place that is for young professionals.
We opened our practice about 2.5 years ago. My wife and I moved here from South Dakota to be a part of the Sioux Center community, and we've grown here since then.
I love Sioux Center because of the connections
Torringa,
you have here. People
Cox,
want to see you succeed.
Skemper. In that order, due up for the Dordt defenders. Here's the pitch, swung on and the changeup. Gray pulls the string on that one. And here's the pitch. And that's taken for a ball. 1-0. So Torringa, 235 batting average, swings and misses. Strike 2, 1-2 the count. I am just checking the official scoring, though. Seems to me that might be catcher unassisted for the out, and that time Toringa takes one off of the helmet, I believe. She's hit by the pitch. That one grazed her. A glancing blow. Still gets your attention. She's hit by the pitch. So the second base runner of the day for the defenders, and for the second time in 3 innings, the leadoff batter is on by virtue of being hit by a pitch. And here's the pitch. Down low and away. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. So getting their spot over at first base is Toringa. Cox takes a strike. And Cox, she's also a slap hitter, so that last one, she's flirting with the front of the box as well. As she gets her start. Lays down a bunt, pushes it foul. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. So 1-2 the count. And that pitch is outside to Brooklyn Cox. So 1-2 the count. And here's the pitch, and that one's golfed foul. And she is out of the box as well, Brooklyn Cox, and I just looked it up. It's going to go on the catcher, unassisted. So not a strikeout, but the catcher unassisted. What did we do before we had Google? These are the things that used to keep scorekeepers up at night trying to keep track of the scorebook. And now, just simply type into the search box, batter out of the box, how do you score it? And a multitude of resources. So we'll have to go back and correct that one for Abby Kramer as well. She doesn't get credit for that strikeout back in the 3rd inning. Brings Chandler Skemper to the plate. She lays down a bunt. It's a good one. Corton snaps it over to first base in time. Runner advances over to second. So Skemper does the job. Lays down a sacrifice bunt. 5-4, I believe, was how that one was scored with the second baseman covering. Maybe it was the first baseman. I was watching the runner over at second and see what kind of jump she got. So 2 down in the inning. Brings Carly Olson to the plate with a runner on second base. Lifted in the air. That one contacts the bubble outside the field of play. Strike 1, 0-1 the count. And here's the pitch. That one's on the outside corner of the plate. Olson couldn't pull the trigger. Strike 2, 0-2 the count to Carly. Olson in her first at-bat struck out swinging. Here's the pitch from Gray. And here it is. That one's up high. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Boy, there's no fooling with the strike zone when you get that center field shot. Almost dead on. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way down low. Ball 2, 2-2 the count. Camera just a little off of dead center field. Otherwise, you're getting a solid shot of the back of the pitcher. This way you can at least get a little bit of a view of the catcher as well. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one's in for a called strike 3. So Carly Olson retired. That is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Gray. Out number 3 of the inning. And for the second time today, the defenders leave a base runner stranded in scoring position. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Ray Porter Castro when we're back right after this for the Lancers.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And sponsored by Sioux Center Health Therapy, partnering with Dordt University to provide quality care to all athletes. Sioux Center Health Therapy.
It was either the second or was it the third out of the inning or not?
Today's Dordt Media Network
I don't think it was. Maybe that was on Harper.
By the students of Dordt University.
What's that? Was it the second out of the third inning? So Abby Kramer on to work her fourth inning. Ella Ray, Autumn Porter, and Janaea Castro, backhanded by Kramer. Tough play, throws over to first base, not in time. That'll go as a base hit for Ella Ray as Kramer had lunged to her right. That's a backhand. And the batter was out of the box. So again, a batter retired. 2U, out number one, so take the base hit away. So that goes as a strike. Beg your pardon, just a strike. So no. So 0-1 the count. We'll get this right yet. And that's one thing we noticed almost immediately here in the ASB Dome. There is no fudging the lines. I mean, the lines are the lines in here, and it doesn't get wiped out like it does outside where it's more of a vicinity. It's very distinct what the lines are, and they don't fade, and they don't get wiped out. And we've seen a few instances now where batters are out of the box when they contact the softball. 1-2 the count to Ray. Here's the pitch. And where it really affects batters the most is those slap hitters that are left-handed, and they get that running start. And I guess I never realized how far up they are when they're contacting. And there again, she stepped with the left foot out of the box behind home plate. Now, it was a ball, and there's no way the umpire can see everything, but you start watching for it a little closer, and you find out how many times. There she did it again. Yep, it's amazing. It is amazing how much that happens. So that one's 2U on the catcher, on the Ella Ray. And that brings Autumn Porter to the plate. Those last two times, it wasn't the front of the box, but it was rather the inside line that she stepped over as she made contact with the ball. Now I can't take my eyes off it. Bunt laid down, Kramer up with it, throws over to first in time. Skemper covering on the play. Porter retired, 1-4 for the second out of the inning. And that brings Castro to the plate. So Castro, there's your replay. Nice play that time by Kramer out of the circle, twirls and throws, and she threw that actually before Skemper was there. Just got to trust that your defensive player is going to get over there. Skemper and Kramer have been playing together for a long time. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive to right field, and slicing in. Castro retired on the line out to right. Brooklyn Cox is there to make the play for out number 3. And we've played 3.5. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Due up for the defenders, it'll be Koster, Terpstra, and Grun when we're back right after this break.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Well, the other part, as we continue that discussion about the lines and they don't move and they're there and they don't get wiped out, the video doesn't lie either. When you take a look at that, and we've got some pretty good vantage point to see that. And yeah, you go back. I remember the first weekend watching home plate umpire, and one of the coaches pitch in there for a called strike got a little testy when their batter was called out. And I went back and watched the video and actually talked to the umpire afterwards, and I said, you know, we get on you so much when you get them wrong. I'm going to tell you when you get it right. And that time, ground ball right side. Koster is retired, unassisted by the first baseman on the one hopper for out number 1 of the inning. I said, I'm going to tell you when you got it right, and you nailed that one. I could go back and watch the video, and very clearly the batter made contact with it outside of the box. And no arguing once you take a look at that. Ivy Terpstra now batting. We're still 0-0. Pitches upstairs. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1-0 the count. Scoreless. Bottom of the 4th inning. Scheduled to play 2 today. Under the roof. Here's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. 2-0. 2-0 the count with 1 out in the inning. Terpstra in her last at bat grounded out to the third baseman for the 3rd out of the inning. Pitch misses. Down low. So the count now 2-1. So 2-1 the count. They just had to square things away with the home plate umpire. Surprised that doesn't happen more often. We've got no scoreboard to rely on. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 3, 3-1 the count. I looked over at Ellie's screen very quickly. I saw she had 2-1, so I was ready to go to battle on that one. Here's the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Count goes full 3-2 to Terpstra. Terpstra grounded out in her last at bat. We're in the 2nd time around the order. Terpstra, the cleanup hitter for the defenders. Terpstra very steadily having a nice season. Fouls that one up into the light fixture. Terpstra this season, 28 hits. That's 2nd on the team to Koster's 36. Terpstra batting .346, 2 homers, 17 RBI, also has 20 runs scored. That is 3rd on the team. Skemper and Grun share team honors with 26 runs scored apiece. Gray is throwing it pretty well so far for the Lancers. So Gray, this is her 11th appearance, her 10th start. 3-5 with a 6.11 earned run average. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. She yo-yoed that one. Strikeout number 4 on the changeup. Out number 2. Brings Grun to the plate. Now Grun having the type of season where she could change this one in a hurry. Waiting for somebody to break through here. Bottom of the 4th inning. Grun, a .313 batting average. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That one's off of the hands and hit softly. Second baseman racing over. Harper makes the play in front of the bag. And Grun is retired on the pop out to the second baseman for out number 3 of the inning. Dordt retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. Gray working on a no-hitter thus far. The only 2 base runners. A couple of players who were hit by a pitch thus far. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Due up for the Lancers. It'll be Nihi, Noble, Valdez when we're back right after this.
We understand how complex the financial landscape can be to navigate. Our goal is to free up your hands so that you can focus on what is most important in life.
Today's Dordt Media
The
Network
Defenders
live stream broadcast is
and
produced by the
Lancers tied up
students of Dordt
0-0
University.
as we go to the 4th inning, to the 5th inning now. Over in Sioux City, a wild one in baseball. Chargers have regained the lead, leading 12-10 over the Defenders. Dordt scored 5 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th to take a 10-6 lead at the time. Briarcliff striking for 5 in the 5th and another in the 6th, leading now 12-10. Here's the pitch from Kramer. Ground ball, seeing eye single, past a diving Emma Groon at shortstop. And Nihi is on with a single, her second base hit of the day. They ran for her the first time around, and it looks like they will leave her in to run here in the 5th inning. We are now into the latter stages. 0-0 our score. We're in the 5th. And Sammy Noble at the plate. Noble a .241 batting average. So Nihi, .283. Her second base hit of the day. So Sammy Noble, she lined out to the second baseman in her last at-bat. Swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1 the count. Well, Jeffrey DeCam will be by to bring you the play-by-play of game number 2 today. That game will start about 20 to 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one, whenever this one is over. Foul ball out of play. So Kramer so far, 3 strikeouts. So Kramer sitting at 96 for the season. Make it 97 on that fan by Noble. Strikeout number 4. Out number 1 of the inning. And that brings Valdez to the plate. Here's the pitch up high. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Now obviously Marty ran for Nihi back in the 2nd inning, so I would imagine base running not her forte. Otherwise, why would you run for her? So that's an interesting dynamic here. You've got her on at first base. And that, yeah, you've got to decide here. Do you go with a pinch runner? That pitch is in for a called strike with a score tied 0-0, but then you lose her for the rest of the game because she can't re-enter again. So for the time being, Mount Marty and Coach Kayla Bryant electing to leave her on the bases to run for herself. 1 out in the inning. Valdez takes a ball. It's 3-1. 3-1. Here's the pitch from Kramer, the right-hander. Misses inside, and we got a little bit of trouble here. Base on balls issued to Valdez. First walk issued by either pitcher. Abby Page will come to the plate. She's the DP. Steenstra playing tight at first base, right on the line. So Kramer into the wind, and that one's fouled off of the roof. And a strike. 1-1 the count to Page. Page struck out looking in her last at-bat. That was leading off the 3rd inning. Swung on, line drive, foul ball, strike 2, 1-2 the count. The line so far, Mount Marty, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Dordt, no runs, no hits, and no errors. And here's the pitch. Swung on and a softly hit line drive. Going to be trouble for Gruen. Her play is to first, and she gets the out, but the runners are now in scoring position. Page retired. 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And that one hit softly enough, almost has the same effect as a sacrifice bunt. Gruen's play was to first, and she got the out on the throw over to Steenstra. Pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1. So 0-1 the count, and here's the pitch. Down low, ball 1, 1-1 the count. So 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. And you roll the order over. Next batter is Bailey Corton. So if you're Dordt, you want to get this out. Kramer asks for time and is granted it as she has to take care of a shoelace that is not to her liking. And so here's the pitch. And misses upstairs. And I believe we're at 3-1. 3-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. Lancers with 2 runners in scoring position. Base hit puts the wheels in motion with 2 down. Here's the pitch. That one's down the chute. Strike 2, 3-2 the count. So 3-2 the count. Reagan Harper, the batter. Harper in her last at bat struck out. This one she fouls off right in front of the Dordt coaching staff. So full count on the way to Harper. Dordt trying to dance out of trouble. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the defenders get out of the inning without any damage being done. Mount Marty puts a scare in the defenders with runners at second and third, unable to come up with a timely hit though. And the Lancers are retired. No runs, a hit, and a base on balls. No errors, and they strand 2. To the 5th inning we go. Steenstra, Tyson, Torringa. That's 6, 7, 8 due up for the defenders right after this.
This Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast is brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry in Orange City, offering dentures, implants, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery.
First pitch to Lauren Steenstra is a strike, 0-1 the count. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and golfed into left field, and the no-hitter is no more. Steenstra with a leadoff single. And for the 3rd time in 5 innings, the Dordt defenders have the leadoff batter on. And the Dordt defenders trying to get something to put together here. Aurora Tyson, the batter. Steenstra over at first base. Tyson shows bunt, takes a strike, 0-1 the count. So 0-1 the count to Tyson. Tyson in her last at-bat grounded out to the second baseman. Now that would move the runner along if you can do something similar. Pushes that one foul, strike 2. 0-2 the count. Well, part of that uprising over in Sioux City, the Dordt defenders getting a grand slam from Caden Davis. Came in the 3rd inning. And here's the pitch on the way to Tyson, and that one's fouled off as she hangs in there, down to the count 0-2. Nothing into the count. Well, now things getting out of hand for the defenders over in Sioux City. It's 17-10 Briar Cliff. They've erupted for 6 runs in the 6th. That's when the line drive in the right field. That'll drop in for a base hit, and the Dordt defenders are in business. Aurora Tyson delivers a single. So back-to-back singles by Steenstra and Tyson after Gray was more or less unhittable through the first 4 innings. Faced 2 over the minimum, and those 2 were batters that were hit by a pitch. Dordt not getting solid contact until this inning, and now Bryn Toringa comes to the plate. Toringa shows bunt, and she is hit by the pitch. That's the 3rd hit batter, and the defenders have the bases jammed. Brings Brooklyn Cox to the plate, and the Lancers will call time. Gray and Coach Caleb Bryant, along with the Lancer infield, will talk things over. So the Lancers in a little bit of trouble here. Coach Jeff Zomer will call Brooklyn Cox over. And there's no room on the bases. I'm not sure what Coach would say in this situation other than be patient, take your pitch. I doubt that you've got a special play in motion here, but you never know. Our score is 0-0 at the moment. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the defenders trying to break through. Bases loaded, nobody out. Couple of base hits and a hit batsman. Here's the pitch. It's outside ball 1. 1-0 the count. So the hit batter was Toringa. It's the second time, actually, she's been hit by a pitch today. The other hit batter was Chandler Scamper. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. So 1-1 the count with nobody out. Defense playing up even with the bases. Now they'll creep in. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 the count. Well, a run here, obviously huge. The double play is in order for the Lancers, and yeah, obviously you got a force play at home. If you're Mount Marty, that's the one you want to get. Here's the pitch, strike 3. And Brooklyn Cox caught looking for the 5th strikeout of the game for Gray, out number 1 of the inning. And that brings the top of the order for the Lancers, for the defenders, and Chandler Scamper. Scamper, a .297 batting average. Her last at bat, a sacrifice bunt that advanced the runner. And here's the pitch to Scamper. Swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1 the count. Scamper was hit by a pitch in her first plate appearance. She has yet to record an official at-bat today, hit by a pitch and a sacrifice bunt. Neither count against your at-bats. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and that's hammered up the middle, and the Dordt defenders have the lead. 1 run is in. Here comes the throw. It's cut off, and holding at second base is Bryn Toringa. And Chandler Scamper delivers an RBI, a 2 RBI single. And the defenders break through with 2 runs here in the home half of the 5th inning. Tyson and Steenstra score easily. Throw was cut off, and that brings Carly Olson to the plate. Olson fouls that one off. So 0-1 the count with 1 out. That one ends up on the top of our makeshift workspace. Olson takes one down low at the knees. I think the count now 1-1. Gray has thrown 66 pitches today. The Dordt defenders finally breaking through for a couple. And here's the pitch from Gray. Both of them earned runs, by the way. That's in for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Well, you know, back in pre-Dome days, we'll call them PD, Here's the pitch. This one softly hit left side. That's going to drop in for a base hit, and taking the turn at third, heading for home. And the defenders will get a double. A double for Carly Olson on the Texas Leaguer on the left side. Skemper advances to third. Toringa actually held up simply because she didn't know if that ball was going to be caught. Left fielder charged, and it took a spin away from her off of the bat of the left-hander. So clearly a double. And we have seen that the ball has a little more bite on the artificial turf and will spin away from the field. There's a little bit more than you're accustomed to on a natural playing surface. So now the defenders have a chance to bust it open. And you've got the right batter up to do it. Ella Coster, 0 for 2. She's due. So Olson delivers an RBI. And that was a double. So Dordt leading 3-0. Runners at second and third. One out. Swung on off of the hands. And that one might have stung just a little bit. You see Coster flex that left hand. 1-2 the count with one out. First base is open. Gray has worked from in front most of the day in terms of the count. Pitch is low. Ball two. Nicely blocked by Castro. Keeps that one close. That's one other thing here in the ASB Dome. Backstop's pretty close. It's pretty hard to score on a pass ball unless the ball scoots away. It feels like everything does bounce back pretty true. Coster takes a ball. It's 3-2, so Coster has worked it back to full. 3-2. Ivy Terpstra waits in the on-deck circle. And here's the pitch on the way to Coster. Swung on off of the hands and up above us once again. The netting above us just the right height. I don't have to stand up to knock the ball away. Just tap it over. So a full count pitch on the way to Coster. Grounded out to the first baseman back in the fourth. Grounded out to the third baseman back in the first. Coster, Dordt 2-0 in the conference. And this has been a little bit later start. We aren't quite into the heat of the conference battles. Now, you get a couple doubleheaders out of the way this week, and then for the next 3 weeks, pretty steady. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball four, and the walk is issued. So Coster, patient at the plate with first base open. She's able to work for the base on balls. And here's the pitch. Swung on and hammered foul. That's a dead ball. Strike one, 0-1 the count by Terpstra as that one contacts the roof. So 0-1 the count to Terpstra with the bases loaded and one out in the frame. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed by Terpstra. She was out in front of that one. So Terpstra will settle in once again. She's the eighth batter to come to the plate for the defenders in this inning. And here's the pitch to Terpstra. Knocks that one to the second baseman. She throws over to first in time. So Terpstra will get credit for the RBI and the ground out to the right side. So a productive at-bat. And Coster advances over to second. Olson is now on third. Terpstra is retired. That's out number two, brings Emma Grun to the plate, and Grun will step in, takes one across the knees, strike one, 0-1 the count. So the low strike call. 0-2 the count, and here's the pitch from Grun, or to Grun. And foul tipped at the plate. Dead ball, strike 2, 0-2 the count. Well, Dordt has 4 runs on the board. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Mount Marty Lancers will be down to the final 6 outs when we pick up play, when we pick up the bottom of the frame. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and Groon goes down swinging. Strikeout number 6 for Gray, out number 3. And the side is retired, but not before the defenders scrape together 4 runs. The defenders, 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors. They strand 2. We head to the top of the 6th inning, due up for the Lancers. Top of the order, Corton will lead things off when we're back right after this. So Bailey Corton will step in. This is the 3rd time around the order for the Lancers. So Mount Marty so far, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Dordt 4-4-0. And as I take a look at the details of today's contest, pitching wise, that one's down low. 1-2 the count, I believe. Kramer has 1 walk and 5 strikeouts so far. Swung on, hit in the air, center field, driven pretty deep, backing up and making the play in center field is Terpstra. Out near the fence, almost hitting it directly at our center field cam. Corton retired on the drive to center for the first out of the inning. Brings Ella Ray to the plate. Well, the defenders with some breathing room, but this one not over by any stretch. You do like the fact that Abby Kramer is on in the circle for the defenders. She has proven herself to be very reliable over her 3+ seasons. She will leave among the career leaders in career wins, strikeouts, innings pitched, all those notable pitching categories. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. She was one of the most decorated softball players that Dordt has brought in. She prepped at Alta Aurelia, and she has not disappointed. 0-2 pitch on the way with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So that's another strikeout for Kramer. Strikeout number 6. Out number 2. And that'll bring Autumn Porter to the plate. So strikeout number 6. That pitch misses inside. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. So Kramer now at 99 strikeouts for the season. I know it's just a number, but baseball and softball kind of built on that. Not 100 doesn't mean anything more than 99, but we do take note of some of those milestones. That one's fouled back. Strike 1, 1-1 the count here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. That one that's in there. Strike 2. Little bit of a delayed strike call, and Autumn Porter down to the count 1-2. This is where Kramer can, if she gets buzzing, look out. Pitch is just high, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Kramer has faced 20 batters, 6 strikeouts today, 1 base on balls. Here's the pitch. Up and away, and the count full now, 3-2. So 3-2 the count. And here's the pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off at the plate. And we'll do it again. 4-0 our score. So 4-0 our score. Here's the pitch. That one's off the hands and booted by the first baseman. Steenstra unable to make the play cleanly, and Porter reaches on the error, charge to the first baseman. That's the first error by either team today. And that'll bring Castro to the plate. Castro will step in. And here's the pitch from Kramer. That misses. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. First error by either team. 4-4-1 for the defenders right now. 0-2-0 for the Lancers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2. 0-2 the count with 2 down in the inning. Castro in her last at bat lined out to the right fielder. Pretty good contact from what I recall. And Cox made the play. That was the third out of the inning back in the fourth. And here's the pitch. Swung on. This one's laced into the alley in left field. That's going to be extra bases. So the inning is extended, and a run will come in to score on the play. That'll go as an unearned run as Porter scores. Castro, the double to the gap, and the shutout is averted, and the Lancers get a run closer. I think I mentioned there was still some work to do. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off. Strike 1 to Nehe. Nehe 2 for 2 today with a couple of singles. So 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Nehe. That's in for a called strike and a changeup by Kramer. She doesn't go to the changeup very often, but that one pretty effective as Nehe frozen at the plate. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, driven to right field. It's going to be trouble, and that's caught by the right fielder. Brooklyn Cox over in right field making that grab for the third out of the inning. For the Lancers, they put a scare into it. They get 1 run with 1 hit. There was an error. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Dordt leading 4-1. Back with more after this.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today. Serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
Lauren Steenstra will step in for the defenders. She takes the ball. 0-1 the count. So 0-1 the count to Steenstra. And Steenstra awaits the delivery. Here's the pitch. Up high. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. And here's the pitch on the way to Steenstra. Swing and a miss. And that's a strike. And I had it at 1-1 earlier. It's now 2-1. So beg your pardon on that. 4-1 our score. Defenders leading. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Steenstra. Strike 2. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That misses outside. Ball 3. And the count goes full, 3-2. Three and two the count with nobody out. Into the windup, and here's the pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball towards the middle, and that'll see its way through for Steenstra's second single of the day. She's now 2 for 3 and continuing to lift her batting average. Entered with a .302 batting average, and we're going to see a runner here for Steenstra. And I would imagine we will have Jessica Flaherty in to run. And that looks like that's Jess, number 22. So Flaherty is in as a pinch runner. I would imagine Steenstra will re-enter in the top half of the 7th inning. But right now the defender's thinking about tacking on a run for insurance. Baseball, that one's in the books. Defenders drop a pair to the Briarcliff Chargers. It was a wild one in game 2. 19-12. Chargers get 13 late, 5 in the 5th, 8 in the 6th to turn a 10-6 deficit into a 19-10 advantage. Throw over to second base, not in time. Flaherty is in with the stolen base. Well, Flaherty didn't waste any time. Flaherty this season, her third stolen base. She's running for Steenstra, reached with a single. Pitch is in there for a called strike. One and one the count. Here's the pitch, swung on and sharply hit past the backhand attempt of Nehe. Throw and trying to get the out at first base. The dive by the second baseman, Harper. She was late to the bag, and in the process, Flaherty scores on the play. I'm waiting to see what our scorekeeper calls that. I'm going to say no error because the first baseman had to go to her right, which was her bare hand side. And the old rule, the old saying is ordinary effort. So would have that been an ordinary play? Probably not. Is it a play the coach would like to see made? Probably yes. That is where the two differ somewhat. Fly ball center field, and Bryn Toringa is retired on the fly out to center for the second out of the inning. So in the meantime, Tyson reached. That goes as an RBI single just because in the whole mess of things, Flaherty was able to score from second base. And I know there are those armchair scorekeepers out there who are going to disagree with our assessment, but life goes on. Swing and a miss. Strike one to Brooklyn Cox. That was out number 1 of the inning, so the defenders trying to scrape a little bit more together. Brooklyn Cox in her last at-bat struck out. She's 0 for 2 today. Gray, the pitcher for the Lancers, ran into a little trouble in the 5th inning and more trouble here in the 6th. She's given up a run, albeit an earned run with a couple of singles and a stolen base mixed in. And here's the pitch on the way. Outside and low. Ball 2, 2-1. Dordt leading 5-1. And in the driver's seat. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 2-2. So Tyson thought maybe we'd see her moving. 2-2 pitch with 1 out. You try to get her into scoring position. Are you happy to see things play out here at 5-1? Here's the pitch up high. Ball 3. So now the count is full, 3-2. I'm guessing she might be going here. You lessen the risk a little bit. A walk, and it's no harm. And that one is outside and low. Ball 4, and the walk is issued. Interestingly, Tyson was not moving. She took about 4 steps and then stopped and looked. So she was not moving on the play. Walk is issued, and for Gray, that is the second base on ball surrendered. And we started over again for the defenders. Scamper with a 2 RBI single in her last at bat. 1 for 1 at the plate. She has her batting average up around 300 right now. Should have lifted it past 300 now, I believe, as she is 1 for 1 today. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed by Scamper, strike 2. So Scamper today with the base hit. She now has 23 base hits in 75 at-bats. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Carly Olson awaiting her turn in the on-deck circle. Scamper trying to add to the 5-1 lead. That one skips in front of the plate. That's a ball. I would think catchers like playing on this surface simply because it's all level. That ball skipped in front of the plate, but relatively easy play for Castro to block it. Everything rolls true on the turf. Now the spin of the ball does get affected a little bit more, it seems, by the plastic. 2-2 pitch on the way. Check swing foul. And the count remains 2-2. Well, Abby Kramer will be out to work her 7th inning. And she will go after her 11th pitching win. And Scamper caught looking on that one. Strike 3. And for Gray, that is her 7th strikeout. Out number 2 of the inning. And brings Carly Olson to the plate with a chance to do a little more damage. She had a double in her last at bat. Here's the pitch. Up high. Well, catches the outside corner of the plate and in the strike zone. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. That's what I get for anticipating. 0-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. And here's the pitch on the way. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Ella Coster waits in the on-deck circle. I'd like to see Ella Coster get another chance. She's 0 for 2 so far today. My wishes have nothing to do with anything, though. Here's the pitch. Olson takes a ball inside. Looked like Gray wanted that one. Olson with the only extra base hit of the game for the defenders thus far. So Kramer, even though gave up a run, that was an unearned run. Here's the pitch, swung on, bouncing ball, and that hits the runner, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. That'll go unassisted to the shortstop on a fielder's choice. Carly Olson, fielder's choice. Aurora Tyson, that one hits off of her before the shortstop can make the play. So she's retired unassisted by the shortstop for the 3rd out of the inning. Defenders get one more run. They get a run on a couple of hits. And there were no errors. We go to the top of the 7th inning. Lancers down to their final 3 outs. It'll be Noble, Valdez, and Page when we're back right after this. Makes sense on how to score that. First pitch. Abby Kramer tries to close things out. That was a ball. This one's a ball as well. Ball 2, 2-0. Defenders scheduled to go to Jamestown, actually to Aberdeen, to face Jamestown on Thursday. That one's in for a called strike, 2-1. The defenders so far 21-5 this season, 2-0 in the conference. Mount Marty 8-11 and 1-3. And Abby Kramer. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 the count. So Kramer even up in the count with a 2-2 with a 2-2 delivery on the way. Dordt leading 5-1. Bases are empty. Lancers down to the final 3 outs. Swung on, punched to the right side. Scamper up with it, tosses over to first base. Noble is retired, 4-3 for the first out of the inning. Brings Valdez to the plate. For Kramer, this would be her 8th win in a row. She was 3-3 at one point this season. Swung on, hit in the air. That one's going to glance off of the ceiling and lands in fair territory. Was a live ball off of the ceiling, but the defenders unable to make the play, unable to take advantage of the freebie. So strike 1, 0-1 the count with 1 out in the inning. And here's the pitch. Down low and inside, ball 1, 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. Stepping back in is Valdez. Valdez, and a base on balls in the 5th inning. Grounded out in the 2nd. She's 0 for 1. Misses up high. Ball 2, 2-1 the count. Well, for the defenders, there have been times today where it looks like they haven't played a competitive game in about 10 days. Other times, took advantage. Made some nice plays in the field. Right fielder, Brooklyn Cox, a couple of dandies. Here's the pitch. That one just misses outside, and the walk is issued. So Valdez with a base on balls. Second one she has been issued today. And the second base on balls given up by Kramer. So the defenders now with Abby Page coming to the plate for the Lancers. Here's the pitch. Misses up high. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. Let's see if Kramer can bear down here. You've got the number 8 and 9 hitters due up here. You'd love to finish it and not get to the top of the order again for the Lancers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in for a called strike. 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. So 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Checked her swing, but it's in the strike zone. 1-2 the count. I'd love for Kramer to get that 100th strikeout out of the way today as well. Swung on, ground ball. Third baseman, her play is to second. They get it out. So fielder's choice by Abby Page. Valdez is retired 5-4 for the out. Toringa able to get the lead runner. Scamper able to get over and get to the bag. And now we have a pinch hitter, it appears, for the Lancers. So we have a pinch runner in for Abby Page. That will be Sarah Hart. And the pinch hitter is McGill. Here's the pitch. Well, that's just me, but Kramer, a little bit extra snap on that one. That one popped into the mitt of Carly Olson. And here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. And here's the pitch on the way from Kramer. That one's fought off foul. So the defenders now strike away from finishing this off. It's 1-2 the count. So 1-2 the count with 2 down in the inning. Here's the pitch. That misses up and away. So to trying to put Kramer's strikeout total in perspective, she has 99 already this season. Here's the pitch and make it 100. There's your final out of the inning and the game for that matter. And the Dordt defenders come away with the win by a final of 5-1. Kramer with her 100th strikeout. That moves her into 9th place all time. She occupies the top 2 spots with 204 and 154 over the last 2 seasons. Remember, she also pitched during the COVID season of 2020. If not for that, she probably has 4 100 strikeout seasons, but nevertheless, the COVID year did happen in 2020. So Kramer with her 100th strikeout, and the final line for the defenders looks like this. 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Dordt today. Mount Marty 1-3-0. Kramer 7 innings pitched. She allowed an unearned run, gave up 3 hits, walked 2, and struck out 7. She entered the game with 93 strikeouts this season. She now has 100. Gray takes the loss. She goes the distance for the Lancers. She gives up 5 runs on 6 hits with 7 strikeouts and 2 bases on balls issued. The defenders today, offensively, they were led by Lauren Steenstra and Aurora Tyson. Both had a couple of hits and 3 at-bats. Tyson also credit for an RBI. Terpstra had an RBI as well, as did Carly Olson. Chandler Skemper with 2 RBI, and Carly Olson had the only extra base hit of the game for the defenders. She had a double that produced a run. And I think that might have to go back and double check that. Nope, that's right. She had 1 RBI with that double back in the 5th inning. So that will do it for game 1 of the doubleheader. Jeffrey DeCam will be by to provide play-by-play coverage for the second game of the day. That'll happen in about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll take a break. We'll fire things back up on the